Hello everyone. I'm Tarindi Himaranshi. South Asia is the southern region of Asia, which is defined in both geographical and ethnocultural terms. The region consists of the countries of Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, the Maldives, and Sri Lanka. Let's see early childhood care and development in these countries. Abbreviations. Early childhood care and development in Maldives. This is my content. Officially, the Republic of Maldives is a small archipelagic state in South Asia situated in the Indian Ocean. It lies southwest of Sri Lanka and India. Evolution and new trends in early childhood education in the country. In 1927, the first government-provided formal school was established in the capital for male students. But later in 1944, a section was opened for girls and the young women. Significant development in education took place in the 1940 and 1950. For the first time in the country's history, education came to be regarded as an agent for national development. It was a period during which the government promoted and encouraged island communication at all administrators and ward committee in Malay to provide educational facilities for their children. Many islands built and administrated schools using their own resources. By 1945, textbooks and teachers' guide have been developed for all the basic education grade 1 to 7. The formal preschooling began in 10th May 1961 as Hamidiya Montessori School. Preparing students for primary grades who then went on to Aminiya and Majidiya schools. In 1961, the school had 185 students with a staff of 6 teachers, including the principal. In 1970, the name of the school was changed from Hamidiya to Nazaria Montessori School. By 1978, with the completion of the extension to the original building, the school had 18 classes with about 588 students. In 1990, Skandar School became a full-fledged primary school with grade 1 to 5. One of the most significant historical developments in education was in 1978 with the decision to unify the national education system. Meadho has been claimed as the oldest inhabited island. It has a long list of great academics Meadho produced over years, and they succeed in achievements which made the nation proud of them. Muhammad Mujib, who was a strong figure in the education of Meadho, is in the 80s. Mr. Majid played a key role in establishing a modern education system in Meadho. He is the father of the preschool system as it is today. The mandatory registration for school teachers from 2016. Strategies to improve utilization of enabling platforms such as e-learning in schools and the initiatives for school children's health screening and child protection are of equal importance. Traditionally, education was the responsibility of religious leaders and institutions. Most learning centered on individual tutorials in religious teachings. The traditional system of education that has evolved for centuries composed of three types of centuries. How early childhood education works in the country. There are three institutions. One is Kiaje, second one is Magdab, and third one is Madarsa. Learning centers based in the house of a learned person. Higher secondary enrollment for both females and males had shown impressive progress from 2010 onwards. Structured and organization of the education system. Formal preschool education centers to children aged 3 to 5. Now and then. Curriculum and teaching methods. A multimedia national campaign entitled First Steps Maldives. The Maldives National Early Childhood Care and Development Strategy is built on the principles that the healthy foundation of psychological, emotional, and cognitive development must be laid in the early years of the life. The framework of the Maldives National Early Childhood Care and Development Strategy, the goal of the proposed project to develop model community-based early childhood care and development centers in Maldives is to develop 5 model community-based ECCD centers for improving the quality of early childhood care and development, psychological experiences, and teaching practices. Establish demonstration centers of good practice in early childhood care and development. These centers will be based on the principle of developmentally appropriate play-based learning. Develop curricular guidelines and resources, including audiovisual materials, and providing them free to preschool and childcare centers. The main responsibilities of Early Child Development Unit. These are my findings. Early Childhood Development National Policies. There is not a specific act on early childhood education in Maldives, but there is draft educational act under which provision is given for early childhood and care education. The Maldives recognize education as a universal human right as far back as 1932 in our first written constitution. Now we have become the first nation in the region to provide 12 years of compulsory education and 14 years of free schooling for all students. We have become the first country in South Asia to gain the status of an MDG plus country by achieving 5 of 8 United Nations Millennium Development Goals well ahead to the agreed timeline of 2015, with our educational achievements a critical component of this success. In both primary and secondary education, Maldives achieved gender parity in 2008, and the level was maintained with just over 50% since then. Higher secondary enrollment has increased substantially over the period 2013 to 2016 after the successful implementation of our No Child Left Behind policy. Action plan includes objectives and strategies formulated in light of findings from the National Conference on Vision 2020 and the 6th National Development Plan of the Maldives. 10 years of formal schooling will be the minimum standard throughout the Maldives, a system for the provision of technical skills needed for achieving and sustaining social-economic development will also be established. Education for All EFA Action Plan. There are 4 goals in this action plan. A project funded by UNICEF to develop model community-based early childcare and development centers in Maldives is a part of the Maldives National Early Childhood Care and Development Strategy, which is comprised of all the following interrelated components. Public contribution and private sector contribution. I have divided them into 2. One is government contribution and non-government contribution, the other one. These are my findings for them. How to substitute for Sri Lanka. Establishing the rights of the students as well as teachers in regard to education, the responsibilities of the state and parents and tutors. It further specifies other aspects of education including guidelines and methods of education in the Maldives. The Act will come into effect at the beginning of the next academic new year. Following ratification, the Education Act has been published in the Government Gazette. These are my references. Thank you.